What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about the week 3 and 4 for this season 31. And basically this is going to be a nuke meta. We have Foresight, so whenever you intercept, your attack rate is increased by 200% for 5 seconds. You basically get a passive fury. And then with fight or flight, if you're close to the opponent, they are going to get the unstoppable. But if you're far away after 12 seconds pass, you are going to get the unstoppable. And this is actually pretty cool because you can actually use this unstoppable to take a blocked hit and then basically quickly intercept the opponent to get the Foresight. And then there's also the astral evade. So this is basically, more dosability. If you try to hit the opponent while they are stunned, they are going to evade. And one thing to keep in mind is that if you, let's say, stun Bullseye, he's going to trigger his auto evade and then he's going to be able to punish you, which is, it's definitely making some of those defenders that punish you when they evade to be a little bit more dangerous. Okay, so starting off with the best science attackers here. So I think this guy will be really good. You can't really parry heavy the opponent, but you can still parry to build up your kinetic potential and then get this nice fury. And then you can go for, a heavy into the special 2. With the Foresight, even if it's not a crit, I feel like it's going to nuke anybody. And on top of that, he kind of counters the unstoppable buff from fight or flight if, the opponent ends up triggering it. Moving on to Count Nefaria. So this guy, really good because you don't really need to do those intercepts. You can just use his parry, which is going to auto evade, and it's just going to give you the Foresight. But keep in mind, the opponent needs to do a full dash, and you need to parry that dash in order to trigger the Foresight, because it doesn't count as an intercept if you, let's say, do it from the beginning of the fight. So I think this guy will be pretty decent. Human Torch just straight up nukes. With the Foresight, he's probably going to be even crazier. Joe Fixit, same thing. I don't really like parrying with Joe Fixit at all because it just basically ruins your cards. You get the Diamonds card, which kind of ruins everything. So I think naturally this guy's going to be pretty good. Red Garden is also a big nuke. I think he's going to be really strong. Silk is also a nuke. You actually want to intercept a lot with Silk. And on top of that, you get that slow so that it doesn't, the unstoppable doesn't slow off your rotation or throw you off. Spider Ham and Spider Woman actually will be nasty because when the opponent has Power Sting, if you have that Fury from the Foresight, it's actually going to double the Sting damage, which is insane. You can really do 20 to 30 second fights with Spider Ham or Spider Woman. This guy is also pretty good. He's actually going to be pretty good for defensively as well because you can't really intercept him without a slow debuff. But same thing with Count Nefaria here, because just use his parry to get that Foresight. And then his special 2 should be really strong, the shocks with the Foresight. And then lastly, Titania, you can get easy intercept with Titania. You probably don't even need to go for special 3s in this method of Titania, which is really good because you can't really use SP3 with Titania now. Moving on to the skill attacker. So Bullseye, he can also work with kind of like how Nefaria will work, and Spider Ham, you can just use his auto evade and then you're just going to be able to get that Foresight. Moving on to Elsa. I think Elsa, it's going to be pretty solid. She has the highest base crit chance in the game. She's kind of a nuke, to be honest. I don't think she's going to do more than 30-second fights because, again, you can use her auto evade to get that intercept. Hitmonkey is a straight up nuke in this meta, guaranteed crits, and he can also counter the evade if you go for his what's the mode here? I think the Assassin's Cunning counters the evade. Yeah, prevents the opponent's evade effects, the Assassin's Cunning, so you can even parry if you want to when you get that. So Hitmonkey will definitely be a nuke. Kate Bishop also will be a nuke. You just intercept before throwing the special 1 or the special 2. Cold Snap damage is gonna go crazy. Lumatrix, you can use his invisibility to go for the evades, to go for the intercepts. And you probably don't even need to go for the double fury rotation in this meta. I think just 1 will be enough. Mantis has very easy access to intercept because of your Infuriate. Again, it can fail, but with Infuriate, you actually have a higher chance the opponent dashing at you. Mole-Man, you can use his charges to basically go unstoppable and then get the evade. Why did I say evade? And then get the intercept when you go unstoppable for a split second, and then a guaranteed crits. You should be able to nuke with Mole-Man pretty quickly. Moondragon is here because she's naturally, want to intercept with her to get her charges up. And then by the time you get to the special 2, she's definitely going to nuke the opponent with Foresight. Okoye is another nasty champion hero with dot champions, damage over time. Foresight goes crazy. And then she also counters the evade with Ensnare. And then same thing here with Shang-Chi. 1 special 2 probably nukes the opponent with Foresight. And also he has that slow if the opponent, wants to evade without astral evade. Moving on to the mutant class, we have Depulexor. You want to go for a special one here with 10 charges, get those 30 bleeds, and then with Foresight, the opponent is definitely going to melt. Moving on to Jean Grey, you can probably, go for just a special 2 and nuke the opponent down with just, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 Neuroshocks. Definitely going to kill the opponent. And I'm thinking Kitty Pryde here. I might run Kitty Pryde just so I can have like a really good counter for Bullseye. I want to test her though, because, she's still a 6-star, but, you want to intercept a lot with Kitty Pryde. And as soon as you get the first one, basically you can get free intercepts, which is going to be like double the damage for the whole fight. But I'm going to do some testing and see if I actually like her. Mr. Sinister is a tricky one to use, but he's very good because the Degens, they can take for like 12,000 with a 7-star rank 3. But the problem with Sinister is that when you stun the opponent, you need to time it really well, your heavy charge, because, if you don't time it well, the opponent is going to astral evade, and that could mess you up. So just heads up. Nightcrawler is actually pretty big nuke in this meta because, he crits a lot. And then, he gets those instant bleeds. Those instant bleeds get more damage with Foresight as well. His basic attack damage do, lots of damage as well. I think I've taken like a Nick Fury in like 40 seconds with him, which is pretty impressive. Onslaught, you just go for the special 2 with the Degens. With Foresight, the opponent is going to melt. And then someone that I feel like will be a big nuke in this meta, if you just go for the 15 charges, get that Fury, and just keep intercepting, you can probably nuke people with like Weapon X very fast, especially if you have the 7-star version. Moving on to the tech class, we have Fam here. So naturally you want to, intercept a lot with Fam. And then as soon as you get to your 7 armor ups and trigger the Surging Storm, the opponent is more aggressive, so you can easily do it and nuke some people down with maybe even 1 disintegration, which probably will be enough with the 7-star version. And then moving on to Jack-O-Lantern, I think this guy will be pretty strong too. With his inflamed passives, he's going to get more attack. Foresight is going to give him more, red numbers when he's going to crit. So I feel like he might go to rank 3 for me in this meta. I'm actually thinking about it. And then Penny Parker, if she's not too slow, she can basically kill anyone with 1 special 2. Because if you time the special 2 with Foresight, it just destroys people. You don't even have to like wait for the incinerators to tick. So she might actually be worth it. But she's kind of worthless on defense in this meta because you just get the Foresight and you break the shield super fast. So I'll see it. Maybe I don't actually include her. Now, Prowler here, if you have a really high Sig, he's going to crit a lot of that special 2. And he gets, those ruptures, and then they just go for a big boom. If you have the Foresight, it probably will be game over with 1 special 2 with Prowler. Same thing with Red Skull here, just 1 special 2 with the shocks. And then if the opponent doesn't die, you just go for 1 special 1 really quickly and just close out the fight. And then Stark's Body, of course, is a nuke champion, and then paired with Foresight is going to be even crazier. Alright, so Cosmic class here, we have some big nukes. Adam Warlock, naturally, you don't want to parry with this guy at all. So if you can get an aggressive AI, which you should because the opponent is taunted and stuff like that, fingers crossed, you should get a really fast eye with Adam Warlock. Moving on to Call Obsidian will be one of the best counters for, or one of the best attackers in this meta because he actually counters the evade with Thanos' favor. And he's a big nuke, man. Like I can see this guy doing 15-second fights. I'm not even kidding. Hercules has the Infuriate. I'm not sure if he's gonna be worth it, if he's gonna be fast, but he might be. He's still a 6-star, but he might be if you can get, those precisions, get a quick fight. And then another 6-star that might be worth it in this meta is Hulkling. You just get the Foresight on the special 2, get your own Furies, and he should be hitting like a truck. Now moving on to Null here, he does counter evade with his medium attacks, which is really cool. And I feel like with 1 special 1, you just have the opponent corrupted and get those armor breaks up, and he should be hitting like a truck. Now Medusa also hits like a truck naturally. She also has that true accuracy when you get, the armor shatter up, so it's gonna be a little bit helpful there. Thanos also counters the evade with the panic, and he has very easy access to intercepts with his counter punch charges. He will be one of the best attackers for sure. And then Venom, bro. Venom is such a nuke. I was fighting a Nick Fury and he messed me up on the second life, letting go for an intercept. But I remember I killed his first life in 15 seconds, which is ridiculous, man. Like with the right RNG, good AI, this guy can be one of the top attackers in this meta for sure. He's definitely going to beat my deck. And then lastly, moving on to the Mystic attackers, Absman might be pretty good because naturally, again, you want to intercept with this guy. And if you can get the Foresight and then a quick heavy, the special 1 or special 2 are going to hit super hard. So he actually might be worth it. Moving on to Juggernaut. Yeah, this guy's definitely either top 1 best attacker in this meta or like top 3. with like Call Obsidian there, because you can, you just nukes, man. You just get easy intercepts, and like a special 2 is just going to destroy anybody, and he gets to it really quickly too. Moving on to Longshot. So this guy is a bit tricky as well. It's kind of like Sinister because he's a parry heavy champion. But if you can consistently heavy the opponent after their specials or their heavy attacks, I think this guy with a special 2 with the Foresight is going to melt people. Now, Tigra, of course, is a big nuke. She's just going to destroy people left and right. Werewolf with his special 2, you can get quickly up to 2 bars of power with thanks to his power gain. And then the rapture after the special 2 should hit really, really hard. And then White Tiger, again, naturally you want to intercept with her 2, and then she's going to get those precisions. She should be a pretty decent attacker, especially with Serpent running around. Alright, so now moving on to the defenders. So in this meta, because this is going to be a nuke meta, you want some defenders that will try to inflict like some damage or will stall you just slightly more so you can get the win, because there's going to be really high scores in this meta. So starting off with High Evolutionary here in the Science class, this guy's going to be a lot harder to fight because basically you can't really stun and hit him. And if you don't have those quick openings, you might, take that detonation damage. And he's, if you take that damage, you're basically gonna lose the round in this meta because it's a nuke meta. Now, this guy is also basically stun immune. So a duped version of MODOK will be very annoying to deal with. Mr. Fantastic also, if you can't really stun this guy, you just can't really land hits. So you really need those, Okoye or, I don't know, Shang-Chi with his slow to just get through this guy. Same thing with Spider-Punk. You can't really intercept this guy, and if you can't intercept, you can't get the benefit with Foresight, so he is going to slow you down. And then Thing, with Foresight, there's a very high chance that you trigger his protection very often, and that's just going to slow you down a ton. Moving on to the skill class, we got Atuma. He's going to deal some damage to you. You're going to be able to nuke him faster, but he's still going to deal like, that 10 to 15% damage with his thorns, which might be enough to actually make you lose the round. Bullseye is a bit dangerous because if you try to stun and hit him, he's just going to do his evade thing and going to hit you, so be careful on that. Killmonger, same thing with Atuma, might deal some damage to you if you're too quick, and especially if you got that Foresight and he's got the reverb up, you're going to take double the damage. Now, Lumatrix, kind of difficult to fight when he's basically stun immune because he goes invisible at the special 1, and after the special 2 he gets the evade, and if you get cornered with Lumatrix, he's just really tough to get out. That situation. Nick Fury is going to stall because his second life for sure going to be a bit of a problem. And then Yelena is probably the number 1 defender of this meta just because Foresight just doesn't exist when fighting Yelena, because you cannot increase your attack when you fight her. So basically, even if you intercept against Yelena, you're not going to get the benefit from Foresight. Moving on to the mutant class. So Captain Britain will be a bit of a problem because she does that neuroshock damage back to you. And also she has that damage cap safeguard, which is going to stall you just no matter what you do. Domino, if you don't have a counter, you're going to lose some of that HP. So she always is going to be a problem in nuke metas. Iceman, same thing. If you have a 7-star version and super high SIG, basically an auto win if the opponent doesn't have a counter, because they're just going to lose like 20% of their health. And that's just a lot of missing points in a nuke meta. And then Nightcrawler might just be a bit annoying if you just AI just doesn't want to switch. And also you can't hit him while stunned. And he's basically, if he's duped, you cannot decrease his evade chance unless you're a tech champion. So he just might be a bit annoying. I might just run him to see, but yeah. Don't really trust Nightcrawler much on defense lately, but he might be good in this one. And then from the tech class, we got Zola. Obviously, is going to slow you down quite a bit here with that 90% cowardice. And then Solvark is also very new, and he's super tanky with those armor ups. I feel like without armor breaks, without a Cosmic with good amount of armor breaks, this guy probably is going to win some rounds for you. And then lastly, we have the Cosmics and the Mystics. Dark Phoenix, of course, with the safeguard. And the last Immortality is going to be a crazy defender as always. Maestro without a counter is still going to survive and not get nuked by anyone. So if you don't have a counter for this guy, like, Shaftra or Juggernaut, Kushala, he might be a bit of a problem. Nova is a bit of a tricky one because you can't really consistently intercept this guy, and he also auto blocks you. So definitely be careful when fighting Nova. Now Cersei, I'm not sure if she's going to be really good. There's plenty of counters for Cersei now. But again, if the opponent doesn't have one, that glancing is just going to slow you down. And even if it slows you down for like 15 seconds, that is crucial in metas that, 50k scores don't even win your rounds. Now, Terax, of course, is going to be either you try to nuke him really quickly, which you can. You can probably do like a 20-second fight with Foresight because he just always goes for intercepts, but you're going to lose some HP. Thanos, obviously a problem. He's got those protections that will just slow you down no matter what you do. Then, of course, Serpent, Death Immunity. You know how it goes. Now, moving on to the Mystic class, Enchantress AI can be really annoying, man. So I think she's still going to be an annoying defender to fight. Kindred, you know, the fights with Kindred can always go south towards the end. So I feel like he might be a bit of a problem. Because like I said, the best defenders I feel like in this meta are the ones that can do, you know, some chip damage or slow you down because of how fast the fights are going to be. Now, Man-Thing has that crit resistance, could be a bit of a problem, probably not, but he might be good enough to actually slow down the opponent. And then lastly, Destroyer. So Destroyer, you can't really intercept this guy. He also is immune to slow. So you would either need to like bait out his unstoppable with the intercept and get the Foresight Fury with your relic like that, but it's still kind of tricky to do. So I feel like he might be a bit of a difficult defender in this meta. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm excited to see how this meta is gonna look like because I'm not a fan of this one we got right now. But yeah, man, good luck to everybody in this meta, especially to people that are gonna try to qualify for the brawl. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.